Putting humans on Mars, it's been the dream for, what, decades now? But what if I told you it wasn't some far-off fantasy for our grandkids, but something for us? Right now? Well, one of the biggest names in space exploration thinks it could happen in just a handful of years.
And here it is. This is the quote that really got people talking back in February 2021. On the Clubhouse app, Elon Musk put a number on it. Not in 50 years, not even 15, but 5. Now that is a truly audacious prediction.
So here's the big question, right? Is a 5-year timeline actually grounded in reality, or is it just, wishful thinking? To answer that, we actually need to rewind the clock way before any Mars-bound rockets are being built to the one single discovery that turned this whole thing from science fiction into a potential reality. So, let's start with what we're calling the key ingredient. We're going to dig into what suddenly made this incredibly ambitious goal seem even remotely possible in the first place. Before you can even think about building a habitat or landing a starship, you need the one, absolutely non-negotiable foundation for life as we know it, water. And for the longest time, we just didn't know for sure if Mars had any.
And then this happened. This was the moment, the absolute game changer. July 31st, 2008. NASA's Phoenix lander didn't just theorize about it, it physically scooped up Martian soil and confirmed the existence of water ice right there just below the surface. This was the proof everyone had been waiting for.
And why does this one discovery matter so much? Well, because on Mars, water means, everything. It's not just for drinking or trying to grow some food. Through a process called electrolysis, you can split H2O into its parts. You get oxygen to breathe, and you get hydrogen for rocket fuel. All of a sudden, Mars stops being just a destination. It becomes a potential self-sustaining outpost.
So when you look at it like this, the timeline is pretty incredible. In 2008, we find the most essential resource, and just 13 years later, the conversation completely shifts to landing humans there. It just goes to show how quickly ambition accelerates once a fundamental barrier gets knocked down. But, and this is a big but, that doesn't mean all the barriers are gone.
Which brings us right to our next section, the final hurdle. Finding water was a massive, massive step, but it doesn't solve the whole puzzle. There's still this great unknown standing in the way. Okay, so let's recap. We have the ambition, we've got the drive, and we know for a fact that we have water. But just checking those two boxes, it isn't quite enough.
And that leads us to the final, really powerful question here. Having the ingredients for survival, like water, that's one thing. But what's really stopping us from making Mars truly habitable? The challenge is the planet itself. You've got its thin atmosphere, the intense radiation, the absolutely freezing temperatures. A 5-year timeline isn't just about getting there, it's about surviving there. And that, my friends, remains the great unknown.